Hey there, guys. Welcome on in. Sorry about that. I'm running a little bit on the late side. Do apologize. Got a little bit tied up on a phone call. But other than that, we are here. We are live and we are ready to rock and roll. How you guys doing this evening? Hopefully, you guys are having a fantastic week so far. I know it's early on, but hopefully, it's going well. So today, talk about some interesting things. First thing I noticed this morning when I was on TCG Player, if you go, and I'm going to check it now because I didn't get a chance because I was on the phone, but if you went TCG Player this morning, very interesting that a lot of Surging Sparks products are actually selling out on TCG Player. For example, this morning, the sleeve blisters were completely sold out. 3-pack blisters were completely sold out. And going down the list, they were, selling out quite a bit. The 6-pack bundles, they were down to only a few products left. So now I'm going back in here. Now there's 16 listings for the booster bundles. I'm not surprised. I'm sure some people came online and then they listed up. But even the 3-pack blisters. So the 3-pack blisters are a perfect example. So this particular one, there's the Quagsire, and then there's the Zapdos one, is a perfect example of two of them that are out there. There's only 6 listings and 8 listings of each one of those, and they're about $22 to $23 currently for that particular product, which is crazy to see in this market. A brand new set is just been released, and it's already running out on TCG Player. There is points in where we're getting no stock. And I mean, I'm even looking at the sleeve blisters. Typically there are, so for example, I'm going to just go to it right now. I was using it as a comparable for Stellar Crown was another perfect example of this one. So I'm going to pull it up so I can give you the right numbers right now. But the biggest thing was with Stellar Crown. There's so right now, Surging Sparks for the blisters. So the sleeve blisters such as these right now are currently sitting at $6.65, and there are only 40 listings on that particular one, just so we have a number. So now if I go to Stellar Crown, let me pull it open really quick. Stellar Crown, I'm going to open up sealed product here real quick, because it was very interesting that in a comparison to a set that's not quite as, it's older, so you would think that you would have a little bit potentially less stock. There are over 40, or there's 86 listings for those sleeve blister packs. So in comparison, there's twice as many people listing the Stellar Crown sleeve blisters as there are listing the Surging Sparks ones at this point in time. And the sales on them has actually been extremely high. So once again, Surging Sparks going really, really crazy. And I'm looking here too that a lot of the listings that are currently up here right now, just by going by it, some of them have some like 70 to 47, which actually isn't that many of them. That's not even a case of that particular product. 98, number one listing right now is 28, 48. We're going to be, yeah, you're going to be close to $7 here, probably within about 100 of these products sold. Not even quite 100. So it's gonna, or 200. Sorry, you get up to 200 of these sleeve blisters sold, you're gonna be over $7 a booster pack at that point in time. 725 is just around the corner, and then I see the people that listed those are all listing them pretty high. So there you go. We're seeing some really, really quick movement on Stellar Crown, and the thing is that talking to my distributor rep for ACD, there is no sign of reprints right now coming for any of this particular product. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, because now we're starting to see that shift now to the booster boxes of Stellar Crown. Like I said, I just did a video on Friday, which I talked about Stellar Crown. You could bought it for around $120, and now it's already up to $130. So as we're sitting here watching, these particular products are just continuing to move up at a fantastic pace. So modern Pokemon feeling a lot like resurgence of 2021 for sure. So it's really, really interesting in the market part of it. And when we're talking about the business market itself, it's getting very difficult. Let's be 100% honest here, and let's not kid ourselves. If you're in this for an investment right now, you're in a good position currently at this point in time. If your main goal is just to sit on products and wait for them to go up in so much percentage points, like I've talked about before, if you sit there and buy Surging Sparks booster boxes when they first released or pre-release, and you were buying them at that 115 to 110 range, and now they're all the way up to, what are they, 200 and some dollars a booster box right now. So if we go back to Surging Sparks, we go back to the booster boxes right now, a single booster box of Surging Sparks is going to set you back a total of $226 right now. So you're looking at $226. So you've doubled up right now potentially on your investment. And the real question is it going to continue to go up? I mean, I think at some point here we're going to hit a ceiling because people are going to be shifting and shifting into Prismatic Evolutions. I know on the streaming side, when I look at the business side of things, I usually like to use the streaming side as a comparable to what we're going to be seeing. And I'm already getting a lot of people on the streaming side sitting there saying, I'm going to hold back now. You know, they'll come in. There are people that have been in my streams quite a bit. They come to my streams a lot to discuss, you know, and rip with me and have some fun. And we just sit here in discussions and stuff over on the TikTok and the streaming side and stripping down these packs and stuff like that. And they are just saying that I'm holding. Prismatic Evolutions is going to be nuts. I want to get into that set. I want to purchase product for that set. I want that set. So already we're seeing that downshift in Surging Sparks, and now we're starting to shift towards Prismatic Evolutions. And I mean, I get it. I mean, we're coming up on only a month away from Prismatic Evolutions being released. So it's not surprising that we're at that point. Plus, we've got Terrestrial Festival going on right now out there currently right now too. Very, very big hits. Very, very big chases right now, especially with that Umbreon and Japanese. And it's awesome now because I don't know if everybody knows, but I'm going to put this out there for everybody that you should probably know, but just in case you don't, Japanese is now listed on TCG Player. So TCG Player now has Japanese product available on there. So which is really nice because if you're looking for those looking for the price range for some of these cards. So for example, the newest set coming out here with the evolutions in that. How well are they doing? And it's another good example of that. So I'm going to pull open that real quick. So let's pull open the newest set right now, where we're at currently when it comes down to these particular products. Why is it not up there? Okay. I'll have to look it up by the set name. But yeah, I mean, we're once again, it's nice because now we can actually keep track of this stuff and be able to check this out and be able to keep up on date with what's happening with that Japanese market as well. So, I gotta remember how to spell it. So yeah, I mean, it's just really, really kind of crazy for the business market. Very difficult. I don't know if all streamers feel that way, but I do know that quite a few of them that I talk to has been getting very difficult to find product, to keep things moving, to trying to get that product in line to continue your growth and get your sales and continue to make your people happy. And it's not as easy as it used to be. And with the distributors being flatlined too, we're getting forced down into some interesting situations on where we cannot have really good streams right now because of the fact that we're priced out because we got to go to like Walmart or our local LCS to try and get that product to build on that, or B, we have to completely not have stuff, which is a big issue as well. So it's going to be kind of interesting on the business side of things, what's going to happen in 2025, especially going into the end of the year now, being that we're going more into, I want to say, a scalping market a little bit again. So we're seeing that opportunity for that scalping off the shelves. You know, for the last, year and a half, 2 years, I could have gone to Walmart and on. Okay, I don't know why that froze, but give me 1 second. Yeah, well, okay. So it's becoming a little bit of a scalping market when we're talking about that. So yeah, it's a really interesting scenario and situation that we're continually running into. And I do apologize for the camera. I don't know what it's doing. My camera, they did an update, and of course, when we do updates, this is what happens. But anyways, but going into the scalping market, when I used to go to Walmart, there was nobody sitting there. I could go through and be there with the guy with the rep that was sitting there, you know, bringing the product from MJ Holding. He'd come in, he'd put his product out. there'd be someone there for sports cards usually. Nobody was really into Pokemon again. It was just kind of one of them things that it was just a dead space at this point in time. And that's completely changed. That's completely gone another direction now. And I don't know if this computer's even working. Anyway, but it's a completely different market now. Now I go there and I went there. So Thursday is typically our restock day. I went there on Thursday and I went to go pick up some products, see what came through, hoping for, Surging Sparks restock, hoping to see some of the things that I could actually have some opportunity to sell at a little bit heavier pricing. And so far, that has not been a good thing. It hasn't been happening. We've been having a lot of issues right now with the scalpers. I got there the other day and there were oh, seven individuals that were sitting there right then and there trying to get that product. So once again, it's just getting to be very, very difficult to get product. Now you're getting scalping back where people are literally coming there buying product to try and rip and ship that and get that product for themselves. Sports cards people. So two of the guys I know were sports cards people, and they were right in there buying Pokemon. They took a ton of the Surging Sparks, and they took a lot of the 6-pack bundles came back. The Surging Sparks blisters came back. There's some 3-pack blisters, and they literally cleaned them out right in front of me. So once again, if this is your business right now, if this is where you're at, and you're getting desperate to the point where you are going to the store to try and get product to be able to open at your stream, you're not able to even do that at this point in time. So it's a really interesting and difficult situation that we're in, and it really brings up a question: why are we not getting product at all? So once again, really, really, really difficult situations, and I don't see these situations improving any at this point in time, just because of the fact that there is no reprints in sight. Like Mason and I were on here a couple weeks ago and specifically said that. Where are the reprints? Where are the reprints at this point in time? Why are we not getting reprints at this point in time? And that's the real question that we need to be asking is why are the reprints not coming? How do we get the reprints that we're looking for? And what is the status for how these things are going to, if these things are going to change? So I do apologize. I'm trying to get the camera to work. It's working on one end, but it's not working on the other. There we go. I'm back. Okay, we got it fixed. Technology, gotta love it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're focusing on. I mean, I do know that of course, Prismatic Evolutions is going to be a big allotment, a lot of allocations. But even the allocations there, if they're printing this heavy now that they downplayed Surging Sparks, they downplayed Stellar Crown, why are we not seeing a complete and total surplus abundance of Prismatic Evolutions? Why can they not create enough to satisfy the market for the pre-orders on that? And I mean, the allocations are dropping quickly. Currently, I have got enough to handle the orders still. So orders we got through the Discord and through the website right now, I have enough. They just dropped me again. I'm not going to have any for streaming, but that it is what it is. I would rather get them to you guys. Streaming is getting pretty well chewed through. I'm trying to work on some other sources to be able to maybe get that, because to be honest with you, I'm talking to the person that works at GameStop. I'm hoping that even they can get it for me, because to be 100% honest, if I pay MSRP for that set, I'm not hesitant about it. I think that it's going to be no issues. I think that it's going to be more of an issue of not being able to find it at all and continuing to watch allocations disappear to the point to where we can't. I'm hoping we hold allocation. So far, so good. Between all the sources I've got, we're looking like we're going to hold the allocations that we got. But once again, that's not even a guarantee if this continues to drop. So I'm kind of curious that where this allocation is going, because I thought all the pre-orders were supposed to be done already and that the allocations should be balancing out by now, but the fact that they just dropped them again here on Friday, we lost more allocation on Friday, which is kind of surprising that we're still losing allocation because all the pre-orders are supposed to be done. And once again, I'm willing to bet that if a big company such as a big sports card company or someone that's doing sports cards and buys once again $100,000-$200,000 a month in product for sports cards, if they come in even late to the game and say, I want some of this, they're probably going to take it from the rest of our allocations. Let's just be 100% honest. There aren't too many people in the Pokemon hobby that can handle that much. I mean, I was going to sit down. I was going to send Eli a message too, just to see how his allocations were doing, because I do know he's got his site as well, where he's got the monthly subscription, and you get it at distro pricing. So I was really curious to know how his allocations were looking on that so far, and if he was seeing that drop rather quickly, or if he's been able to maintain, because he's a little bit larger. I know that he pushes out a lot more product than most of the places that I know, but the fact is that it's definitely going to be a really, really interesting and difficult time with this particular set. If the streamers and the people, the other problem is too, is that I don't like about them taking these allocations from the streamers and the people like that, and are starting to take our allocation away and give it the sports cards, which is cool, but that doesn't promote the product to the right people. I mean, you're promoting it to the people that have money rather than the people that are loyal to the hobby, and that can be one of them scenarios as well, where yes, people are chasing something because they're after that Umbreon, or they're after that very expensive point or part, or that card that's inside of there, just for the money value of it and not so much for the collection value of it. And then they put it on the market at that really high value rather than it being something that someone will enjoy as a collection piece. And these are all factors as well. When you don't get it to the right crowd, it can put a little bit of a sour taste in people's mouth, and it may affect the overall performance of some of the singles in this set, because if someone's going and getting it from the sports card world and listing it at $1,000-$2,000 for a card right off the bat, and that's a good portion of them, it can really affect how the market performs. Now, do I think that it's going to be enough to stall or hinder, Prismatic Evolutions? I don't think so. I think in general it's going to do really well. But it's also something to keep in the back of your mind, that depending on how much this allocation goes to the wrong market, it can really affect. Just like when we're scalping, a lot of people have, really, really had a bad taste in their mouth when it came down to a lot of products back in 2020 and 2021, just because of the fact that they were mad that they couldn't get it. It was exciting when you could, but you were not really as amped up, and you weren't sitting there spending top dollar trying to get this product. Everybody just kind of stalled in the Pokemon market and it died off. Can we do that again, and can that continue, futuristically? Is it going to have enough of a boom if we continue with this low product allocation and not get the products that we're looking for into the right hands? The streamers are definitely going to be a better market for it. It's going to help our market a little bit more than it going to the sports card market, but it will make availability available for those cards, because as more of those are ripped open on that side, those individuals typically don't save those particular cards. They usually put them out in the market. So that's another factor as well, is that when there's money to be made, them guys jump right back into things, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. Something we're going to have to deal with. But on the other hand, you could look at it as Prismatic Evolutions. They might print that thing to the ground as well. I mean, it's a specialty set, so it could be in more like the 151 and Shining Fates when it comes down to that particular part of it as well. So definitely some things to be considering when you're looking at this current market and what's occurring. Um, we really need to see other products though available. I mean, when you've got a hot set like Surging Sparks sitting there, and for the business side and for the business market, not being able to get that product from your distributor, and also fighting with scalpers at the store again to try and get that product even at MSRP, is very detrimental when it comes to that. So once again, it's very, very, very detrimental sometimes to the hobby in general, and the product's not able to flow the right direction sometimes. But on the other hand, it does cause price spikes. It does cause market fluctuations to where you could make profitability if you were able to get this stuff at distributor pricing, or even at this point in time. I mean, for example, if you were to pick these up at Target, or if you were to pick them up at Walmart, you're looking at about $4.99 a pack, $4.98, $4.99 a pack. And if you look at that as a opportunity, when you sit there and talk about it, you can sit there and say, okay, but I'm able to go now right to the store, and you can sit there and say, I can go buy this right now, and I'm just going to give you what the number is. And let's say that you are trying to cover the cost of the product, so you're paying $4.99. I'm just going to use Wisconsin. I got to pay tax at there. That's another disadvantage. So I got to pay 5.5% tax. So each pack right now costs me $5.26, and you got to make at least 15% in order to break even through selling like TCG Player. And then on top of it, if you want to make profit, I try and hold my profit around 15 to 20%. So you figure that you got to make about another 30% on top of that. So right now, in order to make a profit of about 15 to 20% roughly after shipping and everything, you got to make about 685. So realistically, there is an opportunity in this market about this and how we could actually potentially make money just by buying stuff at MSRP. That is working on the streaming side too, especially with Surging Sparks. It's given the opportunity for streamers to still be able to get this market off of the open market for MSRP and still make some profit on a set like this, which is good. I mean, if this were to happen with Stellar Crown or even Twilight Masquerade, there wouldn't be those profit margins inside of it currently in the business side of things. So there is opportunity still. Pokemon's doing extremely well. Very difficult right now to find product at distro, but still available on some shelves. But the shelves are drying up too. I saw someone on the chat here. I'm trying to remember who was putting it on there. Eric, thanks for joining as well. Eric85 put on there that there's empty shelves, and yes, one of these stores is definitely got empty shelves, and that's definitely something that's occurring right now in one of my Walmarts. Two of my Walmarts have zero stock, and one of them has tons of stock. So it's really, really hit or miss on that as well. And my computer's completely frozen up. So, all right, well, we can still got audio, it looks like. So we're going to keep rolling with the audio right now. So hopefully we can keep going through the live here and moving along. I don't know what my computer's doing, but it's okay. We'll manage here. So I'm gonna go through the list real quick because I did see individuals come on in and I can't really move. Let me know in the chat if you guys can still hear me. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to try and figure something else out here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. It still says it's working, so I'm guessing that I'm still going out. But I will say thanks, iFOMO, for joining as always. Eric95, thank you so much. Blitzkrieg, thank you so much for being in here as well. Gimbo Slice, thank you so much. Androidio, thank you for so much. Eric, we got Agent Crypto joining in as well. Anthony Martinez, great to have you in the chat as well. And once again, we got Vest. Thank you so much for that as well. I do apologize for the camera. I don't know what's going on, so just bear with me, I guess. My mouse is now frozen too, so I'm not going to touch it. We're going to get through this regardless of what happens at this point in time, and then we'll deal with the situations, a little bit as after the live here. I just want to make sure we get through this, get through the live on this part of it. So I'm going to go through right now. If you guys got any questions, like I said, that's kind of my rant on the business market right now. It's there. There's profitability right now on certain sets like Surging Sparks and that, but certain sets like Twilight Masquerade, Temporal Forces, all of that is really no profitability right now if you're pulling it off the shelves at Walmart. We can't get it from distro. We can't really buy it at Walmart at this point in time. So I know that some of the bigger streamers can, and like Mason and I talked about, I know streamers that are literally selling every Scarlet and Violet set right now for $8 a pack. And it's like, I can't do that. Nobody will buy them at that price range for me. And I'm sure that that's not the same for everybody, but it's definitely something that's an issue on my end is that I have people that are very loyal and enjoy coming to my streams. But on the other hand, they're not going to sit there and overpay for packs that far when they can still get them at their local Walmarts and stuff without having to have those issues. So it's definitely working on some sets. 151, another one. If you can get any 151 at MSRP right now, it's a go, and it's a go hard because you could get any of that stuff currently and you could flip that pretty much right away with no real issues. But it really is coming down to certain sets, specific sets are doing extremely well, while other sets are just nothing there. And if you can't get it at distro, you can't really sell it online. You can't sell it online. You can't really make any money on that. And there is no opportunity right now on the business front on that. On the investment side, if you held this stuff from distro and you were looking at the investment side, you're definitely having a really, really good seller's market currently if you're trying to get that product out. So it's kind of where we stand. Business is kind of hit or miss. There are some good opportunities. Things are still flowing through, but it's really not coming through on the distro end. It's coming in more through the retail end just because distro is so chewed up right now when it comes down to product. So, all right, guys. Well, we're through my little rant. Like I said, thank you everybody that's kind of stuck with it. I do apologize for no camera. I don't know what this thing's doing, and my mouse is completely frozen. So I don't know what's frozen, what's not. I'm not gonna push it. If it's got sound, we're gonna go with sound. I know it's gonna look a little funny when it comes down to anybody on YouTube. I do apologize. It might be a boring video. I might try and reset my computer here in a minute and see what we can do. But even if I go to like my task manager right now, I can't even move my mouse. It's like frozen up solid. So, um, yeah, like I said, thank you everybody that's joining in once again. Glad to have you guys here. Hopefully, you guys have had a good time so far this week, and hopefully, you're finding stuff. I know I did see some message. Where was it? I saw it down here in the messages. I can still see messages. Um, oh, there it is. Grim the Nerd, thank you for stopping in as well. Yeah, Walmart seems to still be doing well. I will say that. It seems like Walmart is holding on, or MJ Holdings seems to be having no problem with products, which is good. I mean, it's a good thing for them to be able to get products. We're able to do that. We're able to get some products for people on the shelves. And granted, it's not helping except for Surging Sparks and 151. All the rest of them just really aren't helping as much as we need at this point in time. But if we don't get any through distro, that could change as well, and there could be more opportunity. So, all right. So let's see. Just looking through, yeah, music to your ears, Antonio. Um, we are to the point where we still have the allocations for our members that purchase, so we're still okay there. I'm just hoping that that doesn't change. Every week it seems to change, but I'm hoping I'm seeing uptick in allocation, in my opinion. It's what I'm hoping for here at some point. Eric, some card shops had buyers go hit restocks at the big retailers to pick up some inventory for their shops. Yeah, and it's happening. I'm not even gonna lie. When it comes down to the streaming side, I'm doing the exact same thing for specific sets. If it's 151 or if it's Surging Sparks, definitely doing that. When it comes down to, like I said, other booster packs and things like that, I'm not. There isn't the movement in them to make sense. I'm not saying I'm going there and cleaning them out. I'll go there and buy like 25 packs. So they'll put in one of the new display cases in there. So that's 144, and I'll grab like 35 to 40 packs of it. I'm doing that because I'm trying to keep things moving on the streaming side because that's what everybody wants. That's the set that everybody's looking for, and that's where we're kind of at right now. Is that we have to cater to that situation. That if these are what people want, we need to be able to get in front of it because if they come and they purchase that, they also purchase other things. So if you don't have the main set that's currently what everybody wants, you don't have traffic through your streams because people are looking for that, and then they go in, they'll buy a tin of Paldean Fates, and they'll grab a couple packs of Surging Sparks, or they'll grab a tin of Crown Zenith, or they'll fill in the gaps with other stuff that they want to have. But you got to have that set to really draw them in and bring them in. So that's definitely the situation that we are currently in when it comes down to that. And I don't see that getting any better in the near future, especially talking to some of the distributors currently. They really aren't giving me any good promise that we're going to be seeing an improvement for that. So yes, I definitely think that that's going to be a continuing issue when it comes down to these products and things in the hobby. Um, So what do we got here, Antonio? I have a lot of product ordered for Prismatic, but I'm very curious to see who cancels. I can't imagine no one canceling it. You know, it's going to be really close, and that's just it. I mean, we don't know. It sucks. By now, I usually have an allocation number where I could tell you, yeah, this is what we're getting. If I had extra, I could sit there and put up pre-orders again. If you've noticed, there aren't any real pre-orders coming up again. Walmart did. So Walmart had a little bit of a pre-order there the other day. But that was the only pre-order that we've actually seen happen recently. No place else. Normal places that you would see pre-orders at like MSRP. Now I'm seeing pre-orders for like $100, $140 in ETB, which is absolutely insane. Nobody should be paying that much money for an ETB up front. So that's definitely something that I don't suggest, but it's definitely something that I know that is occurring currently in the market as well. Is seeing $140 ETBs is not unheard of at this point in time, based on the current market that we are seeing. It's feeling a lot like Shining Fates when it was released. Because I don't know how many of you, I'm assuming some of you were probably here, and probably maybe even a majority of you were here when Shining Fates released. And if you remember how that release worked, that was right in the middle of the boom and the explosion that we had with the Logan Paul boom. And basically, what happened with that particular set is that there was a really low first print of Shining Fates, actually. They had a lot of tins. The ETBs were really short printed at that point in time because of supply chain issues and issues that they were having with that. And what occurred is that it went for like $140. ETBs were originally selling at like $140 for Shining Fates, and that price held for a good month before Battle Styles came out, and then Battle Styles was selling for $180 a booster box because we weren't getting any reprints and there was short printed on all that stuff. Now, granted, as an investment, this is where I kind of take my history and what you should be looking at on the investment side is this could change in a heartbeat and it could really shift the other direction where they reprint the crap out of it and really kill the pricing. So could they come back and short print Prismatic Evolutions on this first run, and then 3 months down the road go ahead and dump a whole nother, or every single time that they release another product line of this? Because they do have 3 releases on this. We have one at the January 25th, there's one in middle of February, and then there's one in the beginning of March. Could they dump ETBs at every one of those as well? And that's another question that we're going to be considering down the road when we're looking at this also, is are they going to do multiple ETB reprints on every one of those releases? We kind of seen that happen with Crown Zenith, and that's definitely something that could occur at this point as well. Yeah, Miguel, sorry about that. My camera keeps freezing, and now my mouse is frozen. So literally, if I got voice at this point in time, I'm gonna take it. If anything, I'll download this video and I'll edit it, or I'll do something to make it look a little bit different. Maybe do a Rock Sandy version of a video. Just have someone doing gameplay while we're talking through the whole thing. I don't know. I'll figure something out. If not, it'll just be a live that's kind of weird, and it is what it is, and it's just informational with you being able to set your phone on your nightstand and fall asleep to it. So whatever works, it's up to you. So, but yeah, no, I have heard of I've heard of that, Eric, with the retail shops, and yes, Anthony, as of right now, for anybody that's ordered, I have enough still in my allocations between my 3 spots that they are holding, and I mean barely holding. I need 130 ETBs for everybody that ordered, and right now I have about 160. So I still have a little bit of play if I were to lose a little bit more allocation. I'm really hoping that this is it, but I still have the asterisk. Miguel asks, won't restart again. No, I can't even move my mouse. So whatever happened to the camera, like shorted out something on my mouse and everything. So it's like some of my USB ports aren't working. Um, so I'm just not gonna play with it. There's no point going any further. Read read as a story exactly. Um, Agent Crypto question: is the 151 PC ETB still undervalued? It's the rarest 151 product and is nearly the same price as the UPC. Won't it be the most wanted PC ETB? you never know. Maybe 100%. You never know. Right now, the UPC is doing better than the Pokemon Center ETB, and I don't know why. Do I feel that it's overrated? No, I don't feel that it's overrated. I just feel that it is going with the market right now, and the market shifting to who's buying what. Um, People more interested in what's coming in at the store at MSRP. They're still trying to clean that up. We're kind of in the middle of this continuous reprint where every time that we seem to get something from distributor, it's got more product. And it's just going to continue to kind of roll that way when we're kind of moving forward right now. I think a lot of those high end products, such as that UPC and the ETB, will kind of stagnate like we've seen, where people are now focused on the reprint items that are coming through. I saw 6-pack bundles coming back at Target for people. I mean, I've seen a lot of different changes when it comes down to it, and it's definitely really something that's it's going to be time related more than it's going to be right now. Is it undervalued? Well, no. If it's not selling, then and it's not moving, then obviously it's not undervalued for the market. Yeah, undervalued to me is always something that seems to be lagging behind for because people forgot about it. And I don't think people have forgotten about the UPC or the PC. I don't think that they're products people forgot about yet at this point in time. But I definitely think that it has a chance to grow yet. It's just I don't know if it's undervalued all that much. People are just not willing to spend that kind of money on particular products. And the other part of it is too that you could really look at when you're talking about it is how do we know that that's you make the comment, and a lot of people make that comment, which I feel like can be a bit of a mistake, is you say it's the rarest 151 product. Well, how do you prove that? I have no idea if that's the rarest. The UPC could be the rarest product. I don't know. I don't know what the print rate was from Pokemon Center of what that 151 Pokemon Center ETB was. I know it was highly sought after. I will tell you that. I cannot absolutely agree because it sold out so fast. I mean, I barely got any. I got two of them, and that was it. But that doesn't mean it was the rarest. I mean, we don't know production runs of any of those particular products. We just assume that because it's exclusive to Pokemon or Pokemon Center, in a way, we make the mistake sometimes of always thinking that because it's exclusive to that, it's the rarest. But there's no way to really know that. They could have printed a million of them things. You have no idea. If the demand was high enough, the market ate it up, then there could be millions of them sitting out there and you just don't know it. There could be 500,000 UPCs, which would make the UPCs the the better value. So, yeah, I think that that's can be a really murky area to go into when you're trying to say something's rarer than another item in the Pokemon TCG. It can get very murky on that because nobody really has the numbers to really back that or say for sure that yes, this has more. No, this has more. Yes, this is the rarest, and maybe you could say it's the most has had the most demand on it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the rarest item. Pokevest, while Agent Crypto stop spamming. You post it in every live. Nostalgianomics is right about you. I don't know about that. I haven't been catching on those. Did PK ever respond to you? No, I never got a response from PK. So I tried. I tried to poke the bear, and he never even responded to me. So that's all right. I didn't watch this full last live, so if he mentioned something as last live, he could have. I don't know. I didn't get any response from him personally on any of my accounts that he can access to me, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Grim the Nerd. Yeah, Walmart seems to be the lucky spot. That's what I said. Walmart seems to be really good for me. GameStop sucks. They don't have anything hardly anymore except for old sets. They actually got some Vivid Voltage back in GameStop the other day, which I was like shocked that they had that. But then they were charging friggin' Sword and Shield, or they were charging Scarlet and Violet prices on Sword and Shield sets. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting on that Walmart MJ Holding seems to be doing fairly well on their distribution part of it. They're the ones that continue to bring 151 as well. They bring Surging Sparks, it seems like every run. It's just that then you got to fight off the scalpers because it seems like The scalpers know that, and I do know that there's people that have that. I don't like this. I don't have it, and I wish I did. But I don't like the fact that the MJ Holding distributor by us gives out his phone number, and people will contact him to let him, so he lets them know when he's coming to the store and what store he'll be at. So people will be sitting there, like I know the normal restock schedule and what time he normally, like the window he's in. So I know that, but he calls people and tells them, "Yeah, I'm coming with this, or I've got this product, or yeah, I'm gonna have a bunch of this." So then there's people lined up. So he like has a text group that he sends, and literally they come and they'll be waiting for him when he gets there. I usually come and I just kind of know the time schedule. Sometimes I hit him when he's there. Sometimes I get there right after he's there. I mean, it's not a guaranteed time, but it's just one of those things that kind of sucks when it comes down to fighting for the product that I might want for my stream in order to keep the stream going. Um, yeah, Alakazam 151, Zapdos, and the poster collection. Poster collections have kind of died out. Zapdos and the Alakazam boxes are pretty common. I wish that we would get an ETB restock. I would love to get some more 151 ETBs, but they don't come out. I haven't seen any of them come out. The two I've gotten over the last 6 months, I picked them up at Walmart, but it was two of them. That was it. Poketano or Tino, what up, everybody? Why are we in the dark? Because we just live in the dark. We live in a hole, and this rabbit hole keeps going deeper, so we're just gonna make the live darker as we go down the rabbit hole. So, no, camera's out. That's the only thing that's going on for anybody just joined in. Camera went out. Mouse won't move. Computer's half frozen, but I still have access, so we're gonna go with it. If it wants to work, we're gonna go with it. And that's the way that we're gonna play this one right now. If it wants to work, we'll let it go. So other than that, it's just, that's the only reason it's off. I've been trying to move. I'm hoping eventually the mouse might catch up and go. I tried moving the mouse to a different USB port and that didn't work, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that. So tried everything on that part of it, but once again, it is what it is. We just make her work. I'll just download and put a Rock Sandy video behind it. We'll have like playing Halo or something behind it while we're watching. Sword and Shield restocks as well. Some. Yep, there have been some. I actually got a what are they? The 3-pack or the 3 promo blisters of Silver Tempest showed up. And those have been doing fairly well, and they actually showed up at our Walmart, so I picked up a few of them. Just because the ones with the 3 promos in it seem to do a lot better than the ones with the single promos. And they were still at Sword and Shield pricing as well, which was really nice. It wasn't the new Scarlet and Violet pricing. Let's see. We have Miguel. I already talked about that. Read us a story. Craig, take the cover off the camera. Yeah, no kidding, right? Ah, darn it. I knew I did something wrong. Blitzkrieg just bought 10 new promos. I think it's a really, really good promo. I just wish they would have left it in the set. Personally, I think they should have left that in the set. It would have been a lot better. Eric just said for his restocks, mainly Sword and Shield ETBs. I have not gotten any Sword and Shield ETBs at Walmart. Target got a reprint, but that's all part of that Excel. Some Targets, my understanding is that some Targets didn't play by the rules on Black Friday. So depending on where you're at, Targets held that those 4 ETBs, they held them back and then put them on the shelf afterwards at retail pricing in $44.99 price for them. So some of them I just don't think played by the rules. I don't think they put them on for Black Friday intentionally because they know the demand right now in Pokemon. That was kind of my feelings. That's what a lot of people were discussing over on number one Reddit and also on TikTok. That's been a big talk about how none of them had them for Black Friday. When they asked about them for Black Friday, they said they didn't have any for them. And then they came back on Saturday after Black Friday event was over and the shelves were stocked full. So then they put all the ones that they were going to have for the Black Friday event and they literally just stuck them on the shelves. Yeah, and that's what I was hearing. A lot of Targets did that is because they had an opportunity to make a lot more money by holding that, and they knew it. And so some did it right. I know our Target, I heard, did it right. They put them out like they were supposed to. Granted, there was only 2 of each kind. There wasn't the full display like we were hearing about, but I did hear that some of them did do that. Um, but yeah, like I said, I just know that in general, MJ Holding Walmarts have not been getting any ETBs at all for the Sword and Shield era. There were Silver Tempest ones on the shelf up until about 2 months ago, but them have since disappeared as well. So I don't know. Once again, it's talking about 2 different distributors, and it can sometimes make a big difference on that for what you can get out of each one. Let's try and play the game and move it again. So let's see here. We have Craig. How will Crown Zenith PC ETBs do long term, 5 to 10 years? Will sealed cases outperform individual boxes percentage wise? Craig, to be 100% honest, I think they're going to do really well. They continue to do fairly well just because, once again, for a Sword and Shield ETB, they were actually seem like they're a little bit harder to find comparatively for the number of listings, which means either A, they didn't produce as many of them, or B, people are just not selling them currently and don't want to sell them, which is what I think is driving the price up a little bit on that. I think a lot of Pokemon Center ETBs are low amounts just because a lot of people do see them as an investment for their collection, or they do see them as a long-term investment with cases of them. But I think it'll do well. I think it's overall a pretty strong ETB in general. Crown Zenith in general, I think, is going to be a fairly strong set. Once we get past the point of where they'll reprint it anymore, I think that that's going to be the real factor to it. Is when are they going to stop reprinting that particular set? And I think we're pretty much through it. But now mini tins just showed up again at Crown Zenith. So if you have been going to Walmart's, MJ Holding just dropped more mini tins at Crown Zenith. Now, once again, is that product that they just got from a reprint or a restock from Pokemon Center, or is it product that they've been holding in the warehouse for a long period of time and are now just rolling it out because their warehouses are starting to empty out? So they're finding these products that have been sitting there for a long period of time that have just not been in rotation. And as they continue to move things around, they continue to find these and keep pushing them out. That's the real question we need to be looking at. And once again, I don't think that they reprinted Crown Zenith again. I think that they just found these mini tins, and I think MJ Holding, the main warehouse, just distributed them out to all these different locations. And I don't even know if it's nationwide. Let me know if anybody else, I mean, Midwest wise, we're getting the Crown Zenith mini tins. I haven't seen a lot of people bring them up or discuss them, so I don't know how widespread they are or if they are found everywhere. I just know that there's 3 locations here in Wisconsin that I know in Walmarts that had Crown Zenith mini tins up here on the shelves again. And it's a whole display at each one of the Walmarts. So it's not like it was a couple tins held back. And they've actually showed up the last 2 weeks in a row, one full display of them. So not hard to find. And there was actually, that's six displays worth right there. So that would mean that they had a pretty good amount or volume of them hidden somewhere. So I don't know. Another one of those products that just kind of showed up in large volume, and I don't think that they reprinted it. I think that it was just stored somewhere, and now it's just coming down the chain because they finally found it. They moved and found a big pile of them and decided to move them out. They're getting done with Crown Zenith. They're getting done with all of Sword and Shield products, I think. So they're just clearing them all out. Because even mystery products are all going to Crown or going out of Sword and Shield. They now have Scarlet and Violet products in them. So even the mystery products are kind of shifting out of that, and they're moving on to another section. So Refine Me, welcome on in. Not available for purchase yet. Crypto Agent, her Agent Crypto, are you amazed at the strength of Crown Zenith? Singles already pumping again. What will the most collected item from Crown Zenith be in your opinion? I think the most collected item is going to be that UPC personally, or the PC. Just because of the fact that the PC is the one thing that never got a reprint in Crown Zenith. I mean, the ETBs did, 3-pack blisters did. I mean, most of the products in Crown Zenith got reprints, but we did not see a reprint of the Pokemon Center ETB to my knowledge. It never showed up again. It was like a one-shot done. And we never really got to re-see that one again. But even the UPC, and it doesn't have a UPC for that set. So it's not like 151 where you got the Mew UPC running around as a variant for it. So I think that it's going to do, I think overall the strength is going to be there just because I think that that's going to be the best product that's going to be in that Pokemon Center ETB. Just because of the fact that it is probably the rarest product. I don't want to say rarest. It's probably the most sought after product in the Crown Zenith line because of the lack of reprints and the fact that it is kind of a really nice display for a Pokemon Center ETB. I have one. I wish I had the camera running because I would show it to you. But I do have a couple. I have a case of those, and it's an open case, but I do have 4 of them total. But I do have one on my shelf behind me, and I enjoy it. I think it's a really well done Pokemon Center ETB. I like the crown layout or the diamond crown pattern behind it with the Lucario. Overall, a really well done ETB. It stands out. It's really nice looking on my display, so I do like it, and it's probably going to stay in my display for a long period of time. While some of them have moved on and changed and things have adapted, I have not changed that one. That one's kind of just been staying there just because I do like the overall look of it. So, once again, if it looks good, it tends to be collectible. It's got some rarity factor to it in a set like Crown Zenith. So it never got reprints. There is no UPC to be competitive with it with no reprints. So I think overall it looks good. I think it's a really good, strong contender for a great display piece in someone's collection. And on top of it, it's Lucario. So it's a very sought after Pokemon as well. Lucario's got a big fan base and does extremely well. The other one that I haven't looked at, I was going to look on my phone here since I can't touch my mouse. Has anybody looked at the Pokemon Go Pokemon Center ETB? Because I thought it was a really interesting ETB. Granted, I don't have it on my shelf, but I was just kind of curious to know how well that one's been doing. I'm looking it up right now. Elite Trainer Box Plus, so that's this one. Yeah, I mean, it's still sitting at about $80. So it's gradually moving up. It's actually at its year high right now. Because it was about 65 and now it's up to 79 currently. So it's been moving up too. Not as much and not as crazy, but definitely still has some movement to it, which is good. A nice steady movement to it, which is a good thing. I mean, if we get one good thing out of Pokemon Go, it'd be good to get that one. I like the Mewtwo. I think it's a unique it's a unique ETB, which is sometimes nice having the uniqueness. Granted, sometimes the uniqueness is also a downside to it because people don't like something that's way different and out of line, but it's not I guess it's not in the sought after set, which is the only issue that is with that particular one. Which can show you that a set can also determine whether or not a Pokemon Center ETB will have value in the future. It's not just that it's a Pokemon Center ETB. It's the fact that it's got to be on a set that's got some value to it as well. I mean, we can go all the way back. What about Chilling Reign? Because Chilling Reign was the first one. It's another perfect example of a Pokemon Center ETB. I'm just curious, how is that one doing? I mean, since we're on the topic of it, I'm going through all the ones that we have because there was 2 of them. Because there was the Calyrex and there was the Ice Rider or the Shadow Rider Ice Rider. So even there, I mean, you're $92 currently for that one, and it was selling for $50 when it came out. But realistically, the last month here has been a big movement for this actual ETB, surprisingly. So we were at, let's just say end of October, we were at $67 for this ETB, and now we're at $92. So once again, we're seeing some really, really big movement here right at the end of the year, which is, we talk about that. You know, you load up through the summer. As a business, I'm loading up through the summer. You're preloading everything, getting your product all ready to go, getting everything lined up, because you know that it's going to do do pretty well. And overall, I think that it's really going to, it shows that if you're going to do it, you're going to load up. You need to be prepared for that fall season, especially starting in November, going into the Black Friday. People go into a frenzy of where we can actually get product at a really crazy prices up in value just in a short time frame. Between October and December, we've seen that particular product go from mid 60s to 92. That's a $30 value jump in, which is 30% value jump in just a month. So there's some really good opportunities there. Once again, buying in the summer and running it out into the um, holiday season. Let's see. Mainly Sword and Shield. Blitzkrieg. Yeah, my target. Hello. Yeah, they withheld. I know quite a few targets did. I know a lot of them, even in the cities, the bigger cities around here, they withheld intentionally. Some hit ETBs at Target and waited for until Black Friday pricing to buy. See, our Targets never had the shelves were empty. They weren't even in Targets up here for. I have not seen a Sword and Shield ETB on a Target shelf prior to Black Friday for probably 2 to 3 months. There hadn't even been Silver Tempest or any of those particular products on the shelf. So, maybe your area, your distributor for Excel is a little bit, maybe your warehouse has more quantities available still, but they couldn't have hit them. I mean, they would have had to hit them 2 months ago and hope nobody found them in 2 months in that store, which is it possible? I don't want to say it's impossible. It's just, to me, it's very improbable because they move things, or changing things, or cleaning. I mean, all the stuff that they do on Target, someone would want to cross it in that amount of time frame. What about the Moonbryon? Well, the Moonbryon is the Moonbryon. Especially with the new. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I thought we would maybe see, and it may move more when we get Prismatic Evolutions coming out. I thought that we would see a little bit more movement on that Moonbryon at this point in time. I thought that by now we would start to see that Moonbryon start to go up in value because of the fact that the Terrasol Festival has come out. It's a new Umbreon chase. That Umbreon is doing extremely well. I thought we would see some of that value kind of equate into the Moonbryon as well. But the Moonbryon right now, a near mint copy, is going to run you $1,400 on TCG Player. So once again, how much more can a modern card push with the amount of them in a PSA 10? That card is almost, I almost want to say it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of killing itself slowly and hindering itself, because the PSA 10 price is not much different between the PSA or just the raw card right now. So I'm looking right now, and if I go to eBay, and I looked at this earlier, a PSA 10s were selling for about $1,600 to $1,700. So if you're only getting that price difference, you're almost getting to the point where it's not even worth grading that card, because of the upcharge through PSA to get that card graded is almost eating that full movement up. Now, granted, it could go up again and we could see some movement on it. So I'm going to look PSA 10 because I looked at this this weekend. So let me pull open the Umbreon VMAX Alt Art. So if I pull this up real quick and we look, and I go to recent sales, I'm going to go sold. Oop, go to the sold features. So I'm going to go down to sold items. So right now, there's been one here just sold today for 22. But we got a PSA 10 sold for 18. So 18 going down the list. That's EV Heroes. So it finally did move up today. So there, I will say that today, the 17th, there has been one sale for 2,000. There's been one sale for 22. Yeah, PSA 9 sold for 11. A 9 sold for 11. Here's a 10 yesterday, sold for 19 at the end of the day. So we have seen some movement on it since this weekend. So on Sunday, I'm looking back on Sunday, there were some sales at 17, there was a sale at 16, there was a sale at 18 on Sunday when I looked. But now since then we've seen a little bit moving on that as well. So yeah, it's moving as well, but still, you sit there and think if you're gonna pay fees to PSA plus shipping plus up charges for getting that in a 10, there's not a huge price difference between a raw and a 10, considering how fast that raw is grabbing value. I mean, granted, the 10 should technically take more, but when you got 14,000 of a particular card already in circulation of a PSA 10, you're not going to get that breakaway like you see with some of the other PSA 10s out there, where you get that huge gap. So, for example, Bubble Meal, perfect example. There's not as many graded. I think that there's only right now like 4,000 graded of that Bubble Mew and a PSA 10. If you look at that particular card, the raw card right now is sitting at about 183 to 215. Right now, if you can get that in a PSA 10, you're going to $500. So you're almost doubling. You are doubling the value of the card by getting that PSA 10. And if you get a 9, of course, you're going right back down to your. So 9 is your. You're not going to make any money. It's going to end up at the same price, so you're actually losing money on the grading. While the 10 is going to get you the premium of doubling the price of that card, which we do see on a lot of those. I think even the Tina is currently at that point right now where it's a double up if you can get that 10. The Lugia is the same exact way. The Charizard from 151, the Charizard, Venusaur, Blastoise are all double ups, if not better. You're not seeing that any longer with the Moonbrand. At one point, we did see that double up. We did see that breakaway, but we haven't seen that occur with that Moonbrand any longer. I think that's basically because you have so many of them already, already graded, that it's a huge number. I mean, you're almost catching up to that Champions Path Charizard promo inside of there at this point, which is crazy to think how many of them are out there. So that's what my thoughts are on the Moonbrand. Honestly, I've been seeing a lot of people just going and finding PSA 8s and 10s, cracking them and taking them out because it's cheaper than buying the raw card. So you're going undervalued if you get it graded that low. So, but like PK said in his one live, I did like his analogy, just because if you got a card and you graded it and you held it. So let's say you bought it. So you got it graded, you bought a raw card. Let's just use the Moonbrand. You bought the Moonbrand when it was $850 and you graded it. And it came back in 8. So I mean you went down to, valued around $600 to $550, $600. Now that card is now in a PSA, if you're sitting there, you're looking at a PSA 8, let's just say, you're down, that's now a $950 card, a $1,000 card. Just by holding on to it, you increase the value of it. It became valuable more than what you paid for it, even though it's graded low. Lost value originally. By holding it longer, you gain value on it. So it's all relative to when you purchase and how long you hold something, to how much value you could see in these particular cards and your investment or your collection over time. Just because you buy a 7 now doesn't mean that 7 won't have, or grade a 7 now off of a raw card, you lose money originally on these big ticket cards, doesn't mean that you won't get that value back if you just wait on it. So if you waited on that 7, you would have value at this point in time on that particular card. So it's just a matter of waiting sometimes and letting these cards continue to just trudge forward and they almost suck up the losses that you have right now, especially on a lot of these SIRs and these top chase cards in most of these sets. Agent Crypto, why was the Blaziken alt art not included in Battle Styles? I don't know why it would have been, because it didn't come out until the next sets in Japan. So because that's the set range that came in. So yeah, I don't know why it would have been included in Battle Styles, because Battle Styles was a single strike rapid strike in Japan, and Blaziken came in the later sets. I can't remember the name of the Japanese sets at this point in time. So, but yeah, it's just when it was released. I guess I don't know what the question is. why that's even a question. So, DB, Surging Sparks, Lunchbox, Tins, worth it? No. $30, you're getting 2 packs of Surging Sparks, and the other 2 packs are junk. I think it's Scarlet and Violet, and was it a Twilight Masquerade, or I was trying to remember what the other one was. There's a Twilight Masquerade or a Stellar Crown. I don't remember which. But you're paying $29.98 for it. There's nothing in there that's really going to get any value. So I stay away from those tins. I mean, I'll get one if my son wants a new lunchbox, but realistically, yeah, no, it's only 2 inside of there. So there's 2 Surging Sparks. I'm gonna look up right now, make sure. I want to say it was either a Paldea Evolved or, yeah, I think it was Stellar Crown, and I think there was like a Paldea Evolved or a base set in there, but I don't remember. So yeah, I don't see it. I'm just waiting to. Blitzkrieg says, I'm waiting to see what crazy premium box they'll release for Prismatic, especially those Chinese. I know, right? I am really liking some of the Chinese product that's coming out right now. I even did that video where I was talking about the top 5 investments right now, and I've been taught. I was hesitant in the Chinese market, but now I'm very much kind of moving into it a little bit with the lack of product here in the United States, the lack of, I want to say, lower or medium risk to lower risk investment opportunities here in the current English market. That Chinese market is looking really, really good. They have those new their equivalent of an ETB right now as well. Looks really, really cool. The gold boxes that they did for those are really, really nice. The premium boxes they keep doing there definitely have some really good products. I've got a couple EV products as well that I think are really, really cool, that are just nice collection pieces that I've been picking up as well. So yeah, I agree. I think that they're going to come up with some pretty sweet boxes here in the near future, and I think overall there's some really, really cool stuff going on right now in the Chinese and the Japanese market that we just are not getting here currently. And sometimes you got to look outside of those markets. There are better opportunities, and I think that Chinese market is definitely one of them that's got some popularity behind it currently, that is giving it some value potential that we just don't have that value potential here in the United States. So definitely something to consider, that if you're new and you're looking for something to get into, definitely be checking out some of those Chinese premium boxes. The new ETBs that they're releasing definitely aren't a bad look as well. Um, there was also some back in Sword and Shield that I thought were really cool. I have a couple of them, which are they had like the Rayquaza, the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, the Umbreon, and the Espeon box. They were like they look like UPC. I never opened them, but I have the Rayquaza, I have the Blastoise, and I have the Espeon box from them. But they were a premium collection that they did in China as well. Those were a really, really cool little addition that they did. They're really cool looking box. Their boxes are they're elegant but simplified, and they look really nice. That's just going to be the best thing that I can say for it. Is they go simple. The simplicity of it actually makes it look good. So that's kind of why I'm partially been drawn to them a little bit, is that the Chinese market really is doing some nice premium boxes. So agreed, Blitzkrieg. I think that's a really good opportunity there. Um, but other than that, guys, I'm all caught up on the chat. Like I said, I apologize for the video. I do want to do the live, and I don't want to sit here and try and reset fight and do all that. I'm going to have to figure out why my camera's being weird, because it works for a minute and then it goes out, and then it freaked out my things. So I do apologize for that. But once again, thank you everybody that's joined in this evening. Always appreciate to have you guys here on a Tuesday night. Currently, like I said, just to do a recap, business market is getting very, very difficult without that distributor access, and the products just are not quite there for a lot of the sets to have that value coming right off the shelf at Walmart yet, which is partially good because it keeps the scalping down a little bit and keeps that part of it a little slower. But when you get sets like Surging Sparks and stuff that are coming out there that people are legitimately trying to use for like a business aspect, not necessarily to scalp, but to flip, to get that movement in their business or get that movement on their streams, it's getting to be extremely difficult even to get it at MSRP from your Walmart or Target, just because we have people literally lining up again and waiting for the guy to come to drop the product, and then they are sitting there with shopping carts and just dumping product in the shopping carts again. So I know our local Walmart, one of them was discussing, because of the issues, they had a fist fight at the Walmart before. They're really getting to the point where they're discussing putting it behind the counter again and doing the 10 limit, because it's just insane what people are taking out of these buildings. And just, once again, they come up with a shopping cart and they'll literally grab. So I didn't get any surging sparks last time because literally the guy was there, and she said he literally took the thing and dumped it in the cart. So he took all the sleeve blisters the last time. He just took it, dumped it in the cart, and left, and went to the self checkout and checked them all out. So insane. It's just crazy to see that kind of stuff happening again. I didn't think we would get back to that point in the market anytime soon, but there again, here we are, sitting there in the same kind of situation that we were, 2021, 2022, or 2021, 2020. What's one play you're eyeing up right now? I guess, what kind of play are you looking at, Agent Crypto? Are you looking for? I guess I'm trying to find out. Are you looking for something that's like an investment? Are you looking for something to flip? Are you looking for? It depends on what you're looking for and what you're expecting in the market right now. So that's why I was saying, even in the video, it's really hard to tell anybody right now what's a good investment that's not low risk. Sword and Shield products still, I think, are a little bit down, but I think if we continue to have this lack of product in Scarlet and Violet, I could see a lot of even Sword and Shield sets. The other thing I've been eyeing up, and I got to go do a little bit of math, or go look for Stellar Crown, because right now Stellar Crown has two promos inside of those check lane blisters. One's going for $3, one's going for $2.50, and the check lane blisters were on sale at my Walmart for $4.97. And if they are, and that Stellar Crown is in there, I will probably be going to try and get those Stellar Crown sleeve blister, or the check lane blisters, the ones with the promo on the coin in them. I know I don't like them things, but if you can get them at the same price as a booster pack at Walmart and have a potential of a $2 and a $3 promo inside of there, then to me that's a great thing to jump on. That's what I'm currently eyeing up right now. So that's one of the items that you're looking at. You could get Stellar Crown at a very low price then. So instead of $5, you knock it down, you're getting it for $2 to $2.50 a pack versus $5. So there's a potential play right there that you could be looking at. And that's looking at the bulk market and looking at that TCG play market. Now, I don't even know if they have it. So that's going to be a really interesting question, because I don't remember seeing sleeve blisters or them check lane blisters at our local Walmart at all. I've seen them for Twilight Masquerade. I've seen them for all the other sets, but I don't remember seeing them for Stellar Crown or for Surging Sparks. So I don't know if they're there. Blitzkrieg, especially since sports store are switching over to Pokemon, especially well-established businesses, which get priority allocations compared to the small businesses. Exactly. And that's the problem I run into, is right now for allocations, I lose my allocations before anybody else. I'm just not big enough. I don't push enough volume that I can do that. And I mean, I'm growing my business to the point where my goal is that I have a ten to $15,000 a month allocation towards the distributors, because once again, I'm looking at that priority is that the more money you spend with the distributor, the more chances you are to get more of your allocation. It moves you up these tiers the more that you spend. So basically right now, the business goal that I have for my Pokemon business currently is to try and grow my online business to the point of where I'm hoping by the end of 2025 I'm at about that 15,000 mark per month. And then by the end of 2026, I want to try and bump that up closer to 30. And I want to get to the point where I'm around $50,000 a month through my distributor for purchases, just to try and get myself up. Because I was talking to my distributor rep, and he said the $50,000 mark is going to put you on to a different tier, which is going to, number one, give me some way better price. He said I'll get better pricing at 25, but you'll get a decent cut when you do about 50 per month. If you can do, and that doesn't just have to be Pokemon. Again, that can be any kind of set that they offer. So that could be Yu-Gi-Oh. That could be going through. I think what is it? They have Yu-Gi-Oh. They have One Piece. They have Pokemon. What? No, it's not One Piece. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Dragon Ball Z. They got Dragon Ball Z. So I mean, I can sell it through multiple facets. I don't need to do $50,000 Pokemon. I would love to. I think that'd be awesome to be just doing Pokemon by itself. But realistically, I got to weigh out the business means. If I'm at $22,000 and I need to sell $3,000 of something else in order to push me over that edge, it may have the value to do so at that point. So there's always games, and it's always how you want to tweak it. But when it comes down to the business side of things, I'm just not big enough being a streamer to putting in like $4,000 to $5,000 a month into a distributor is not enough to give me any priority when it comes down to those allocations, like you're saying. My allocations are the last ones on the list that they're concerned about. So it's kind of where we're stuck, and that's kind of where you're at when you're looking at these particular items. So, but yeah, like I said, that's kind of where we're at right now. Kind of goals moving forward as we come into 2025. I'm repenciling my goals, trying to find out, you know, how I did on my last year's goals, moving up, trying to reevaluate and decide which goals we want to try and move forward with into 2025. So definitely something that if you are in the business or even on the investing side, I will always suggest is taking a moment to evaluate yourself, take your last year, evaluate how you did, how you're positioned. Are you positioned where you wanted? Did you meet your goals, or did you build goals and did you meet them? Did you find the avenues, whether you were trying to expand your network, whether you were trying to increase your wealth, whether you were trying to maybe increase the total amount of inventory? All of those things are things to consider and maybe look at for goals for next year, because it's always good to, as a business or as an investment, to definitely look at the and evaluate those goals and create goals to shoot for, and then it gives you a placeholder to say, yes, I hit my goals and they were too easy, or B, they were too hard, and I need to either A, reevaluate what I'm doing and try to make those goals happen, or B, I need to change the goals to make them more manageable to where I can miss some or get close, but maybe miss a little bit rather than missing by a lot. And it gives you some ways to have a checks and balances in your business, and it has a way to give you that checks and balances inside of your investments as well, to know that you're on a path that's successful for you. So like I said, that's something I always suggest. I will always suggest is that it never hurts to sit down and do goals and evaluate yourself every year. It's actually a really good way to do things overall, is get that self evaluation and give you a feel for how you did, and if you're able to do what you want to do and keep moving forward. Asian crypto, yes, I do have a Discord. It should be linked down below, and there's a link tree. If it's not in the link tree, then there should be another link down below. It's a permanent link for that as well. So either way, you should be able to see it down below in the description of this video or this live, and I think it's on any one of my videos as well. You could always get into them. So, but anyways, like I said, apologize everybody for the camera. I'll figure that out. Once again, another thing I got to deal with on the technical side. It's always something. But other than that, I do appreciate everybody that's been hanging out and listening to me in the dark. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep listening. If not, thank you so much. If you could hit the like button before you leave, it's greatly appreciated to do that. Helps out the video for future after the stream. And then last but not least, also consider the channel memberships. It does help out the channel to get the membership. Basically, it buys me a cup of coffee, which is appreciated at work. And other than that, it just kind of keeps the lights on and keeps things moving on this end. Once again, thank you everybody that's joined this evening, and it's greatly appreciated to have you here. And the comments are always great, as always. And as always, make sure you guys check out the videos that we've been posting now. So we've been posting videos now at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, to get out information for individuals. And I'm kind of changing them up. Some of them are going to be informational. Some of them are going to be like fun. Some of them are going to be talking directly about something that's occurring at this time and point in time. Some of them are shorts. So I'm kind of playing different ways. I'm not trying to be as serious anymore. I mean, everything before was like business aspect. And to me, I want to be a little bit more spontaneous, but stay in the Pokemon realm. So I kind of want to open it up a little bit, but still stay in my genre and stay in the Pokemon side of the the YouTube space. So other than that, thank you everybody for joining. Once again, now I got to figure out how to close out the stream. But thank you everybody for joining. It's greatly appreciated for you guys to be here. And as always, we'll see